Dear students, welcome to video lecture series on programming in C. In this session, we deals with file handling in C. This comes under Module 5 of EST 102 Programming in C. To understand this topic, a basic knowledge in programming and pointers as prerequisites. To start with, let's learn the need of file handling. In programming, we came across several programs where we enter the input from the keyboard and display output on the console. But in certain cases, we may require large input data to be entered through the keyboard, and in some other cases, the output data to be displayed may be very large and it needs to be generated again and again. However, if you are able to save the output data on a local file system, the same can be accessed whenever required. Here comes the need of file handling in C. To start with, we should learn about two types of file. One is sequential file and other is random access file. In sequential file, as the name implies, the data are placed in the file in a sequential manner and the data are processed in sequence one after the other. Here, we can compare the arrangement of data to the arrangement of beads in a thread. So to reach a particular data item, all the data that precedes it must be read. Whereas in random access file, the data are placed in the file by going directly into the location and hence we can process the data in any order. Now, about file operation. File operations normally we perform every day. For example, your teacher asked to write a resume. You opened a file, gave the file a name and started writing on it. Once it is over, you will close the file. So in this example, we came across three operations: a creation of a new file, writing onto the file and closing the file. We will see a second example. Your physics teacher gave you a material and asked to read from it. So you open the file, read it and finally close it. So an existing file you can open and read and finally at the end close it. Now your teacher gave some corrections on your resume. So how to perform editing? So open the existing file, the file you created for writing resume, edit that file and finally close it. Edit means you can perform reading and writing wherever required. Now, you are writing a project report or a story. The whole process cannot be completed in a day. So you start with creating a file and writing 2-3 pages in a day. Then close the file at the end of the day. Then next day when you want to resume the work, you open the existing file and write at the end of the file. I repeat, you start from where you stopped yesterday. This process can be called appending the file. So second day also when you complete it, close it, and if the process is not a third day, again you open the file, append the file and close it. So in all these four examples, we came across certain file operation we normally perform every day. So this can be called as creating a new file or opening an existing file. Once it is created or opened, we can read data from the file, write it or append it. Okay, reading, writing and appending. These are the three operations that we perform at the end after opening. Okay, finally we close the file. Finally, we close the file after performing reading, writing as well as appending. So these are the basic file operation. So in C programming, to perform all these operations, we have some functions. Now, for file creation and opening, we use the built-in function fopen, F-O-P-E-N. The same can be used for file creation as well as opening. Now, before that, we need to learn about the declaration of file. Here, file is the type and file pointer points to the location in the memory. So, just like you declared integer type, double type, to process a file, you declare a file of type file. Now, the different attributes inside the function fopen are file name followed by the mode. File name, if you are going to read a file, the file name should be the name of an existing file. Mode means read, write, append, etc. This is an example. Fopen file name followed by write mode. Write mode creates a new file for writing. If a file name in the abc.txt already exists, the contents of abc.txt is completely erased when we perform this operation. So, if you want to open a file for reading, give an existing file name as the file name. If it is for writing, give a new file name and that file name should not exist. If it exists, the contents will be erased. And this function fopen gives a file pointer to the variable fptr. So these are the different modes of operation: reading, writing, appending. Reading, writing and appending. And R plus means it can do reading, writing as well as modify. W plus performs writing, reading and modifying. There's difference between R plus and W plus. R plus doesn't delete the content of the file and doesn't create a new file if such file doesn't exist. Whereas W plus deletes the content of the file and creates if it doesn't exist. A plus means appending as well as reading. Now, to close a file, use fclose. Fclose file pointer. This is very simple, only give that file fclose file pointer. Now, this is how a basic file program looks like. These are very familiar for you. Void main and opening bracket, closing bracket. Initially declaration, file pointer. I am giving the name fp. I am opening the file test.txt in read mode. Finally, after doing reading or writing here, you can write it here and close the file, fclose. So, file declaration, file open, file closing. These are the basic file operation. Thank you for listening. We will do a C program in the next class.